You'll see. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It's Hillary and Bernadette Shedley, WSI, with another episode of BDTVT.
And there's an imaginary line right here. See it? Excellent.
Yes.
Today's topic is can you fix? We are here to help you fix your low e-commerce sales before Black Friday. We want you to get into the mood of doing the right things, having the right mindset, so that you can see what is going to happen. Today's presentation is going to be slightly different because we are focusing on we are presenting the problems that most e-commerce web stores have, online stores, online web pages, e-marketplaces, pages, whatever it is that you have, wherever you're selling your products and services online. We did some research and came up with five common problems that we are seeing that can be causing your low e-commerce sales. We also did a webinar last week.
Yes.
Very fantastic webinar. It digs into how to find your problems and the process of fixing that problem, so that when you go through these steps, the last number, which is your revenue, increases.
Yes.
And that's what you want.
And it's the small incremental changes that you make along that process. So to get more information about the webinar, you can always leave a comment below. All right, let us know you want to get access to that webinar, and we will reach out to you.
Excellent. And sorry, when you comment, you will be sent a message on your phone. So fill out that contact information, and we'll forward that webinar link for you. Or yeah, it's a training. Anyway, can you really fix e-commerce low sales?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can. And you see, e-commerce, well, to take it back a step, if you are not encouraging your customers to actually buy on your e-commerce site, but you're encouraging them to go here, go there, go everywhere, all right, then that's how you are hurting your e-commerce sales. To fix, at the end of the day, what you have to focus on is getting your revenue, all right?
Right. And what Hillary means by go here, go there, and I'm going to break that down for you, because yes, we speak very sophisticated. Anyway, when someone comes to your page, they are looking for something. They are looking for a solution. They are looking for a product to buy. They have their idea in mind, and your page needs to tell them that they're in the right place and that you're going to solve their problem. Okay, so the first problem that most people have on their e-commerce pages is that there are no categories. So say, for instance, you are a stationery store. Yes, a stationery store. You sell pen, pencils, paper, notebooks, etc., etc., etc. All right,
all of those things.
Exactly. So you need to categorize those items according to the problems. So somebody who is a student would not necessarily need, how you would say, a cross pen brand, CROSS, because they're not there yet.
Yeah,
they're just looking for a big pen. All right. So you need to do the category of pens, and under pens, then you do the cross, the G shift. Anyway, the pentel, the different kinds of pens, and then the different purposes of the pens. Okay, so that's what we mean by categories. The next problem that most e-commerce have, they just have too many moving images, too many GIFs, too many different colors within the images that are moving.
Too many options.
Too many options.
And we know what happens when you have too many options. You get confused. too many
Don't make me
things,
think.
and don't make me think. Thank you. All right. When you have too many options, too many images, it just confuses your buyer, and they say, okay, this is not where I need to be. I'm gone.
I'm gone. Exactly. So that first question of, am I in the right place? I'm gone, because it's just too many things. I'm too stressed out right now to deal with all these colors, all these moving parts. I mean, this image moving here, that image saying something else, that image saying something. And it's just like, no, I'm not, I'm out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simplify.
Exactly. The next problem that we've seen on most sites is the color and the scheme. Because similar to when you go into a paint shop, if you want to create a room, you cannot have clashing colors. All right. So if you want, there are lots of people out there in the internet world who can help you devise a group of colors that actually complement each other. All right.
And one of the, as you're talking about the confusing color schemes, one of the challenges that most business owners have, and the reason they end up with confusing color schemes, is because they're on e-commerce marketplaces that give you the platform or a template, sorry. And you grab a template, but not realizing what the template is sitting on, maybe. All right. And then that's where it's clashing. So like, you would pick a template with pinks and blues and yellows, but it's sitting on that platform's purple background.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Correct. I see what you're saying. Or color that's clashing. With the pink.
Yes. Yeah. With the pink. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next issue that will cause your visitors to bounce very quickly is if the images are not of good resolution, or it's not appealing, it's not taken with a very enticing type of background, as well as copy. When the image says 1,000 words, yes, but you also need to tell people how it's going to solve their problem. The copy, importance of the copy. And that's how you also stand out against the competition. Please remember that your visitor is and has been doing his research, has seen other sites. So you want to present a page or a website that is very appealing and the images are crisp and crystal clear.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
And the next one also is design. It's kind of, yes, the color scheme and so forth, but design also includes the layout, the color scheme between one box and the next, because Hillary talked about the background. You pick the template, but the pages, sorry, the websites or the e-marketplace background is a color that's clashing with the colors that you have picked for your page. And so therefore we talk about the color scheme. Other part is clean. When I say clean, I don't mean that the color is clean. I'm talking about what you want to say, and the picture needs to pop out of the page, and try not to get the person's vision going over to the little icon that you put here, and then the little icon that you put here, and then the little icon, and then you put another flower over here. And so therefore the person is looking to see, where do I click to put
in the cart,
or to ask for more questions, or to put it in the cart, submit to the cart, add to the cart. And you want the image and that add to cart button be very prominent. So that's kind of what we mean by clean.
Yes.
All right.
And I think we went through that in a previous broadcast where we actually did a before and after.
Yes.
All right. So you really need to make sure that the action that you want, and this is e-commerce, the action that you want is people purchasing your items, putting it into the cart. So whatever correlates to those actions is what you need to focus on in your design.
Yes. And also, if you don't have an e-commerce website, it's a normal website, what actions is that you want? You want people to call you.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's a normal website, you want that contact form.
Yeah.
So same principles apply. Excuse me. Sorry.
Don't worry,
All
I'm
right.
safe.
Yes. Fonts. Another design that you need to pay attention to is your font size, your font, what just call it, the type.
The type, yes. This
Yeah.
is very important.
A lot of
Okay,
people
so
choose big and
big
fonts.
and sometimes, yes, a font that you love. Okay, so then this is something that I remember experiencing with a previous client. They love this calligraphy type font, and it's like, that's great. It will not work on a website.
Yeah. And the reason being is because the person spends so much time trying to read. Okay, they're looking at it like, what is it saying?
What's it saying?
And
Bounce.
yeah, exactly. The minute you make your visitor think too much, gone.
Bounce.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So, in order to kind of mitigate some of these, well, I shouldn't say mitigate, but a lot of the times when you're, for example, one of the factors of images not being of the best resolution is because the average business owner doesn't have the resources, right? So to pay the photographer to do all of the nice
hire,
background, to outsource
his problem.
all right? And that's because you didn't take care of the first problem. Okay.
All right. So let's get to the biggest problem.
So the biggest problem is
that you should
focus on.
So that's why I said this presentation is going to be slightly different, because in order to fix those 5 items that is causing you low e-commerce sales, you need to fix the biggest problem first. And the biggest problem, drum roll, biggest problem is revenue. You're in business to make revenue. All right. And the biggest reason why we still 2 years into into starting our business, because yes, the statistics are still there. 80% plus of people who start businesses fail within the first 2 years. And because so many businesses are coming online today, the reason for you failing is not your traffic. It's not because nobody wants what it is that you're selling. It's mainly because you haven't solved the problems in the right order. So we want to help you to realize the first problem that you should fix is your revenue. You need to find who wants to buy my product, and how you sell that is your next biggest problem. But we'll solve that second biggest problem in another. Okay. Now, if you want to just jump quickly to how to find qualified leads on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc., hit comment below qualified leads, and I'll send that to you within the next day or two, because I'm going to write it up right after this one, after we finish here. Anyway, so in the digital marketing world, we're going to solve the revenue by doing several issues. So in social media marketing, the returns, meaning the revenue, you realize revenue 6 months into the future. For SEO, you realize revenue anywhere between 3 months to 9 months into the future. And there's a bigger gap there, is because of how you're doing SEO, who is doing the SEO for you, and how aggressive are you at doing your SEO? Because a lot of people says, okay, I'll just put up the meta tags and I'll put up the metadata and that's enough. And they say, okay, I've done my SEO. Where are the people? I'm like, no, that's not enough. Yeah. You got to be aggressive, okay, in your SEO. Right. It's an ongoing process. Email marketing returns next week. All right.
You can, yes.
Again, it all depends on how you do it.
Exactly.
It's not slapping a flyer into your email and blasting it out. Okay. As a digital marketer, as a marketer who knows that there is ROI in marketing, I cringe when I hear business owners say blast. I don't like blasting people because, you know, it's not nice. So anyway, messenger marketing. Messenger marketing is, yes, WhatsApp, and yes, Facebook Messenger marketing. Unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but yes, businesses, and there are apps that are being built right now, some already out there in the marketplace, where you can actually advertise to WhatsApp. It's your choice. If you want to do it, fine, but I really don't like it because it's my personal space. So anyway,
And the last one.
so messenger marketing can actually get you results within 24 hours.
24 hours.
Within 24 hours, you get your revenue. Online paid advertising, yes, that is the hottest place to get results. Anywhere between 2 hours of your ad starting and
however long the campaign is.
72 hours before you start to get your results, because Facebook has done lots of updates, and if you allow Facebook to do their updates, allowed to do their, what do you call it,
their optimization, their finding of, yes, because Facebook is getting a lot better at finding your buyers. So paid advertising should and can get you your revenue immediately.
Again, according to
how
who does it
and how you do it. All right.
All right. And yes, industries differ. According to some industries, according to the personality, according to if you have 5,000 people in your physical network, according to if you have 10,000 people that come into your physical store every month, the ad is going to be easier. The messenger marketing is going to be easier. The email marketing is going to be easier. If you're starting out brand new with no leads, nobody to talk to, nobody to send a nice message to and be nice, definitely hit comment, get qualified leads now, and we'll send that list over to you. All right, so the mindset is first take care of the biggest problems first. It's revenue. So if you have a revenue problem, we want to help you to understand that income / revenue is not equal to time. Meaning that a normal employee goes into an office and he expects a salary. That's exchanging
time for money.
For a business, they think that if they do something right now, they should get the revenue right now. And that's why I went into the 5 different ways, and there are like 50 other ways of getting results, revenue from digital marketing. But those are the 5 variations of the length of time it takes for that revenue to be seen, to be realized.
Yes.
All right.
And, you know, one of the things, and that is why, you know, if we think about a lot of people, they say, wait a second, this brand just came out of nowhere and all of a sudden I'm seeing ads, right? Well, they were working in the background, getting their sales, getting their revenue, and generating their revenue so that then they could create the e-commerce site with, you know, a really great color scheme and pristine images with a nice, clean design. That's what they were working on, generating the revenue, okay? So when all of a sudden you see a brand pop out of nowhere, no, they've been doing that for maybe the last 2 years, getting the revenue.
Yeah. And the thing is how these people find their revenue, and it's not that they've found their revenue in the last 2 months. No, they've been working like anywhere between 2 months to 5 years getting their revenue up. And because they're focused on the customer, focus on their message, focus on how to get that customer to buy. You do it physically, you do it again and again and again, you improve how you do that, and then you go out and you outsource all the other things. that will make you a fantastic online brand. And therefore, and then is where we call scaling. A lot of people hear the word scale. A lot of people hear 10,000 in revenue, talking US dollars, 10,000 in revenue, and they say, fantastic, I want that. And then you go to them and says, okay, well, what do you want to invest to get that to happen? And
exactly.
like, oh, I have no money. I'm like, you can't do that. You got to go out, get your revenue, sell your item, sell more of your item, and then you go out and you get the online brand. Okay?
Starts with the mind.
Right. So, and that's why we want to do that PDF for you, because if I give it to you now, it's kind of going to go in one ear and out the next. So I did it in a PDF format. So if you hit the comment, if you drop the comment below saying get revenue, get qualified leads now, I'll send that over to you. Also want to tell you that we dug deep into a training last week where we went into the different, what we call the sales pipeline.
The sales funnel.
All right, the sales pipeline, you call it the sales funnel. We tend to call it pipeline because it's a process. We want you to understand that when you get a stranger to come onto your website, to notice you on your social page, on your social profile, okay, wherever it is, then they notice you and they start interacting with you. You tend not to see them until almost 3-4 times, maybe even up to 25 times that they've come to visit you. They come to 10 times before they decide to put in their email into the contact form, maybe 5 times before they drop a message into your Facebook Messenger to connect with you and get the revenue going. We went through that sales pipeline. So if that's what you want, definitely, we're going to be adding that link also below to help you understand the sales pipeline. And most people get stuck in one place, or they don't even realize where in their sales pipeline their visitors are sticking, and therefore they cannot get the revenue from the visitors.
Exactly. So definitely knowing that, and we went a very deep dive into that on the webinar. So it's, when we talk about getting the revenue out of your pipeline, so we've spoken about your biggest problem, solving the biggest problem is your revenue. You already have people in your pipeline. If you've been in business for the last 2 years, you have people somewhere in your pipeline stuck, and all you have to do is get them moving again to the checkout button.
Right. And then the other thing is, if you do your marketing properly, if you do your marketing well and constantly improving your marketing, 70% of the sales are already done for you. The close is 70% done by the time you pick up the phone. So they're ready to buy.
They're ready to buy.
Okay, so if you want to shrink your timeline of a sales close, because many clients I talk to, they say that there's that period is almost 18 months of them. The first contact with the person, it takes 18 months to close the sale. And if you do your marketing correctly, that sales, that distance time frame tends to shrink. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the wrap is, we know you have low e-commerce sales. There are lots of reasons. There may be lots of reasons why the low sales are there, but we want to help you to understand that it's not your fault. It's not necessarily the traffic. We'll go back to the front and we'll share with you why it is that sorry. All right. Yes, very important. Anyway, sorry. The wrap. Close. All right. So if you have low e-commerce sales, the reason can be too confusing a web page or too many options.
Too many options.
If you have low e-commerce sales, it may be because you're trying to solve the problem in the wrong order. If you're trying to have a fantastic, if you're trying to have an online presence and you don't have the revenue yet, so that you can have a great online presence, then it's going to cause problems in your sales. So we want you to get the qualified people to be talking to. So hit that comment, give me qualified leads, and we'll send that over to you.
Have a great one, everybody. See you next week.
Bye now.